Hello, Moment friends! Anding here, very excited because the sequel to Shadow of Mordor was leaked today as Middle-earth: Shadow of War. According to the description on Target, the new game will be about forging a new ring of power and conquering fortresses in massive battles and dominating Mordor with your personal orc army in Middle-earth: Shadow of War. And so this sounds like a massive departure from the previous game, where the previous game was mostly about small battles and stealth, whereas this new game, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, sounds like it's going to be focused on large-scale combat with massive battles, where you're conquering fortresses throughout Mordor. This seems like it could be a huge gameplay shift from the previous games, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle the new scale of battles with the old game mechanics and see if anything changes from the previous game into this game in regards to the core mechanics of the main character. The description also talks about confronting the full power of Dark Lord Sauron and his ringmates, which suggests that we will be much more involved in our fight against Sauron in this game, especially considering that we're going to be having massive battles within Mordor. Of course, this is a complete departure from the lore, but people who played the previous game probably didn't care about that too much already. And so I think that with this game, it is more than expected that if there was going to be a sequel to Shadow of Mordor that continued the plotline within Mordor, that they would just have to break the lore. There's no way around it, and so I can definitely see why they're going down this road. I think it's a smart choice, and also I think in the previous game, once you got over the initial caveat that there's this huge breaking of lore that happened, the actual interactions between characters was very believable if that situation had taken place. The interactions between Celebrimbor and Gollum in particular were absolutely amazing because it was the creator of the One Ring interacting with the person it affected possibly most, which was Gollum, and it was absolutely incredible to see that interaction and the just pain that each other had for each other and the kind of sympathy but not sympathy that they shared, and it was just a very interesting dynamic. And so I'm excited to see what characters they're going to be bringing into this game now that we're moving deeper into Mordor. It'll be very interesting to see from a story perspective how they handle these massive battles and the also inner politics of Mordor with the Nemesis system and all of that stuff. The description of the main game concludes saying in Middle-earth: Shadow of War, nothing will be forgotten, which suggests that there will be an even stronger Nemesis system. I'm very interested to see how the Nemesis system has developed over the last 3 years and how it'll be involved in this game. I personally am hoping that there will now be a meta-nemesis system where the nemesises themselves will remember other orcs that they have beefs with, so that they'll actually remember other things orcs have done, so that if you align yourself with one orc or, take control of them, they will maybe send you on missions to go against their rivals. I think that would be an interesting opportunity for more story development and getting an even richer nemesis system. Another change I hope to see from the previous Shadow of Mordor is a focus on getting the difficulty balance done in a much better way. I think that the easiest fix for this would be simply introducing difficulty tiers that you can change between while playing the game. I feel like Shadow of Mordor started off at too high of a difficulty for a lot of players, and that caused a lot of players to not finish the game or even get beyond the first few levels. And I also feel like that towards the end of the game, for more veteran players, the game just became too easy. And so I'm hoping with this new Shadow of War game, they will hopefully get the balance much better throughout the game and also possibly add in difficulty levels to help fix the problem and just provide more options to the player. More options for players is always a great thing, and I really hope they introduce difficulty levels within Shadow of War. The Target store description also included information about a gold edition, which includes 2 Nemesis expansions, which presumably simply adds more Nemesi to the game, and also mentions 2 story expansions, which includes a new playable character. Now, it doesn't specify if each story expansion will have a different new playable character or not, but what's interesting to me is the title of these expansions. The first one is The Blade of Galadriel, and the second one is The Desolation of Mordor. Since they mention Galadriel in the title, it makes me wonder if we might be playing in this new game as Galadriel or possibly some other really powerful character. I'm excited to see what this new playable character is, especially since in the first game, Galadriel was actually voiced by Cate Blanchett from the movies. She's the same actor, which is amazing that they got them. They also got Andy Serkis to do Gollum, and had just fantastic voice acting throughout with Troy Baker and Nolan North and several other amazing voice actors. And so I'm really excited to see what they do in regards to voice actors within this next game. And it would be fantastic if one of those key voice actors had a standalone story. That would just be amazing. So that is the news so far with Shadow of War. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see as improvements from Shadow of Mordor into this new game, what you think about these different news points with massive battles and having to conquer fortresses and forging a new ring to take on Sauron. Let me know what you think about all of that in the comments below. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for more news on Middle-earth Shadow of War.